What if I told you this monster snowstorm pummeling the Great Lakes is just the opening act? It's dumping feet of snow into Ontario right now, but that's not the real story, because the next round, the main event, is already taking its position on the board. And honestly, this next one looks even stronger, especially as we push into Monday night and Tuesday. Are you prepared for what's coming? That's when we're going to witness a terrifying development right off the coast. Something that could explode into a full-fledged nor'easter. We're about to break down every single detail and what this monster storm means for millions. And behind it, the pattern is telling me there's even more chaos on the way. The upper-level winds are practically screaming that this active stormy pattern is locking in for the next couple of weeks. I'm telling you, December is gearing up to be absolutely wild from the start, and we're just getting the first taste of it. Right now, here's the energy fueling that snow and rain across the Great Lakes, and it's marching relentlessly to the east. But wait, there's a hidden danger we have to talk about. A sneaky layer of ice across parts of the Appalachians. And now our eyes shift to the west, where the next major system is beginning to spin up. This is where the story gets really intense. Watch as this energy dives south. Do you see that? The jet streak absolutely ignites with power. There it is. With that much lift firing up in the atmosphere, a powerful surface low is not just possible, it's practically guaranteed. It's going to rapidly intensify. I mean, this is a classic textbook setup for a blockbuster storm. Boom. And just like that, it could unleash crippling amounts of snow. The most shocking snowfall totals are coming up in just a minute. Stick with me because this is a dangerously complicated forecast and you need to know what's happening. This isn't a forecast for tomorrow. This is happening right now. The snow is piling up as we speak. For those of you in the live chat, I see you. If you're catching this later on demand, the great thing is this information is critical no matter when you see it. So you can always rewind and catch the key details. We're going to keep it tight tonight. We're moving fast, so hang on. If you're new here, my name is Travis. I spent years as a chief meteorologist in the TV world, but I left that behind to give you the raw details. But, as I always say, once a weather geek, always a weather geek. It's in your blood. You just can't escape it. So if you're obsessed with forecasting and tracking storms like I am, hit that subscribe button and join the crew. I love seeing you all in the comments. You are the heart of this community. Now that band of snow continues its relentless march north as we head into early Sunday morning. And it's about to get dangerously heavy across Ontario. So listen up, from Windsor to London and Toronto, this snow is about to ramp up big time. Don't miss the next part. But here's a twist. We're going to see the snow start to back off across Wisconsin and Minnesota as the winds make a dramatic shift to the northwest from the east. Now let's look south, because a new threat emerges. It's just cold enough in the Appalachians for a treacherous layer of freezing rain. We've already got winter weather advisories posted as this moisture streams in, which could create absolute chaos for travelers. Be extremely careful early Sunday morning along the I-81 corridor and into parts of West Virginia. Then as we get into tomorrow, the snow eases around the Great Lakes, but don't be fooled. That's just the calm before the next storm hits. Just when you think you're getting a break, things are about to get quiet. But is it the calm before the next storm? Because look at this. The next system is already taking shape over Missouri and Iowa. That's right, for everyone in that region, get ready for another round. And this model, the NAM, shows this next monster rolling in as early as Monday. Let's just let this play out for a moment. Whoa. Okay, you can see it's getting incredibly aggressive with this evening's data. Now, this is the 18Z run, and full disclosure, this isn't always the most reliable time for the NAM, but what it's showing for storm number 2 is something we simply cannot ignore. Just look at the data right above me. The threat isn't just in the Midwest. We have an entirely new wave of snow pushing farther north and east. So where does all this energy go? Let's track the path of this snow as it barrels into Canada. I've noticed a lot of our Canadian friends joining the channel. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here watching. While we primarily focus on U.S. weather, a storm this big doesn't care about borders. It's funny, someone made a great point in the comments. I'm not sure if they were joking or completely serious. They said, hey, the weather doesn't stop at the border. And they are 100% right. The official National Weather Service warnings might, but the snow certainly doesn't. Okay, back to the maps. And by the way, this is the NAM model, which, as you can see, stops right about here. But we can project this out, pushing that heavy band of snow north into Canada, blanketing areas from Montreal all the way over to Ottawa. And from there, it just keeps going, lifting even farther to the north and east. Now let's switch to a completely different view to see the bigger picture. This new angle is going to reveal how our nor'easter will track, with snow intensifying farther to the north and east. But notice this, down toward Nova Scotia and out to Newfoundland, it's not a snow threat. For you guys, we're talking about just rain while the heavy snow stays locked to the north. But then, here it comes. This is the system that is going to evolve into that powerhouse nor'easter we've been watching. We are going to dive deep into the northeast in just a moment, but you have to see this. As this storm lifts away, it could literally bomb out over Nova Scotia, becoming a monster. All right, let's break this beast down day by day, and we're going to zoom in much closer. I'm flipping over to the high-resolution map so you can follow along with me. We're going to walk through this entire event in order. First, there goes the low-pressure system currently bringing snow across the Midwest and the Great Lakes into southeast Canada. But at the same time, we're seeing new snow developing back in the Rockies. It looks so innocent right now, doesn't it? But this is the seed that will grow into our major storm as it drives to the east. All right, here we go. Fast forward to Monday afternoon and into the evening. The main disturbance absolutely explodes across the Central Plains. It begins its relentless march to the east. You can see the rain breaking out across the south. But look at the northern edge. A serious streak of snow is already taking shape there as well. By Monday night, a hidden danger emerges. A shallow layer of cold air gets trapped against the eastern face of the Appalachians. So what happens when all that moisture plows into that trapped cold? You get the perfect recipe for a significant freezing rain event. And listen closely, this ice threat could be even more dangerous than what we're seeing Sunday morning. Okay, the system continues to churn up to the north and east, and this is where the forecast gets incredibly interesting. You're not going to want to miss this next part. By early Tuesday morning, as the precipitation expands northward, snow starts moving back into places like Michigan, but it won't be nearly as heavy there or across Indiana and Ohio. The focus for this storm is a little farther south. And get this, look at Kentucky. We could even see some light snow out of this, which is a bit of a surprise. And now, let's shift our gaze to the main event. The areas to the north and east. By early Tuesday morning, you can see that moisture beginning to surge. So the critical zone we're all watching is just north and west of I-95, stretching from northern Virginia through northern Maryland and into southeast Pennsylvania. In that corridor, you could see a period of all snow. But once you get toward Philadelphia, that's where the real forecast battle baseline. The million-dollar question is, how much mixing will we see? Pinning down that rain/snow line is going to be incredibly difficult this far out. The truth is, we're going to need the shorter range models to get a clearer picture. It's only Saturday, so stick with us, because this forecast is guaranteed to evolve. So when can we actually nail down this forecast for Tuesday? The truth is, the models won't truly lock in until Monday at the absolute earliest. That's when we'll finally be able to pinpoint those crucial rain and snow lines. But here's the shocking part. Every single major global model is now showing the same dangerous setup. Watch as this system relentlessly barrels northward all day Tuesday. By the time you're heading home from work, late Tuesday afternoon and into the evening, this storm will be raging. So what's the trigger for all this chaos? By midday Tuesday, a new and powerful character enters the stage. A shortwave trough, swinging down from the Great Lakes like a wrecking ball. This isn't just a ripple in the atmosphere. It's packing a punch of intensely cold air aloft. And as it slams towards the coast, it's going to spark the explosive development of our low-pressure system. It's that injection of pure energy that will supercharge this coastal low, transforming it from a disorganized mess into a sharply defined monster. By Tuesday evening, where will the first flakes fly? If you're in the higher elevations west of I-95 up into the Poconos, southern New York, and Connecticut, you're first on the list. And I'm telling you right now, Connecticut is absolutely in the game for a major impact here. We're watching it like a hawk. Now, this is the critical moment in the timeline you absolutely have to watch. Don't look away. But what about the huge metro corridor? D.C., Baltimore, Philly, maybe even New York City. The storm will almost certainly begin as snow for all of you. But will it stay that way? Here comes the twist you've been worried about. A battle line is being drawn as a sliver of warm air begins its invasion. As that low churns closer, a flip to rain becomes inevitable for some. That warm air is going to conquer the immediate coastal regions. And that, my friends, is what creates a forecasting nightmare. But further west, a much more dangerous story is unfolding. Back towards the Appalachians through Tuesday afternoon and evening, that cold air is locked in, setting the stage for a crippling freezing rain event. This could become a massive problem for eastern West Virginia, western Maryland, and the Shenandoah Valley. This isn't just an inconvenience. This is a serious ice threat. How bad could it get? Some of these areas could be flirting with 1/4 of an inch of solid ice if that cold air wins the battle. Yes, I said 1/4 inch of pure ice. Then, as we push into Tuesday night, the coastal low finally organizes and absolutely rockets off to the northeast. This will shut down the mess in the mid-Atlantic, but what does it mean for New England? It means the back-end snow for the interior Northeast and New England will also start to wind down as the entire system finally begins to pull away and taper off. But wait, that's just one model's version of the story. Now let's look at the GFS model, because it is painting a much more aggressive, high-impact scenario. All the pieces are still in place, right? You can see the dangerous ice still showing up across West Virginia and Virginia, but it pushes it even farther south into North Carolina. And look at this, a much stronger, more menacing shield of snow is shown blasting across the plains. This is a very interesting and frankly concerning development as we head into Tuesday morning. The potential for a major storm is growing. Now, why is the GFS so much more intense? It's because of that 500 millibar shortwave we just discussed. It's showing it as a much stronger force. And remember what I showed you with the jet stream? That powerful jet stream is providing the high-octane fuel needed to make this surface low-pressure system absolutely explode. The result could be a true weather bomb, rapidly deepening off the Delmarva coast on Tuesday afternoon before it tears up toward the northeast. But even this more aggressive GFS model is showing rain right at the coast. Don't miss this next part. Just inland, it is burying a huge part of New England in incredibly heavy snow. Could this finally be your first blockbuster snowstorm of the year? I'm going to let this play out, and then we're going to back it up for the moment you've all been waiting for. We are going to look at the potential snow numbers. And after that, I'll show you how another shot of cold air reloads for Thursday and Friday. You won't believe it. The GFS model, you can say what you will about it. It is what it is, and it's cooking up another storm. Sometimes I call it the goofiest model for a reason, but I'm telling you right now, regardless of what happens next weekend, this weather pattern is absolutely electric. And I don't think that it's going to settle down at all over the next couple of weeks. But first, the moment you've been waiting for, let's talk snow totals for this first event. To kick off the week, we're watching this low pressure system pull away from southeast Canada, but is a much bigger storm brewing right behind it. Montreal is on the razor's edge with a couple of inches, but just north of there, that's where some serious snow accumulation is getting started. And all of that energy is aimed right at the northeast. Now, depending on when you're tuned in, some of this initial snow is already fallen. The thing is, this snow could get dangerously heavy farther north and east into eastern Canada. But you have to see what the models are predicting next. The GFS model is trying to absolutely bury the coastal areas with a crippling snowstorm. This is showing the 2-day totals starting on Wednesday. And this map doesn't even count what's already fallen. The GFS is clearly the most aggressive model, dumping close to 6 inches from southern
Pennsylvania, pushing up through Allentown and Poughkeepsie. We're talking about cities like Springfield, Massachusetts, and then into western Massachusetts, southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire, and then all the way into down east Maine with a staggering 6 to 10 inches of snow on the new GFS. It's a shocking forecast. But what happens when we look at the European model?
It's practically asking snow. What snow are you even talking about? The disagreement here is almost unbelievable.
This is the 12Z run, and it's nowhere near as strong, showing just a fraction of the snow that the GFS is calling for.
But wait, there's a twist. This is the brand new 18Z run from the European model, and it has trended significantly snowier.
Honestly, at this point, I would almost throw that weaker midday run out with the bathwater. I'm just going to toss it.
It just looked bizarre to me. So how do we find the truth? We turn to the ensemble guidance, which is what I trust for my forecasts.
This shows the chances of seeing more than 1 inch or even more than 3 inches of snow.
And yes, all of this up here is falling right now.
I can't filter that part out,
but look at the European ensemble guidance. Do you see this streak showing up? That's a greater than 60 to 70% chance of seeing more than 3 inches of snow. And the most critical part? That probability is growing.
Then, if we lower the bar to just 1 inch, you get a clear picture of how the snow threat expands even farther to the south and west.
This is the latest 18Z run. Now, let's flash back to that weaker midday run for a stark comparison.
There it is. The difference is night and day.
Now look beyond just this one system.
The takeaway is this: the potential for a big snow event is absolutely there. The ensemble data shows multiple opportunities for it. Don't miss this next part.
We're now looking back across the center of the United States where the story is completely different. Not much snow to talk about back here. And frankly, it never looked like it was going to be a major event for them. Still, a little bit of snow is on the way. Now let's jump across to the west. We'll zoom in tight and walk you through the forecast step by step for the next couple of days. We have a pretty big blast of cold air plunging down the front range, and it's going to keep pushing all the way down into Texas.
But will it bring snow to Texas? Not this time. We're going to watch this snow move through Colorado, a state that has been incredibly dry. So some much-needed snow is finally arriving before the system tracks off to the east. Here's a quick look at your snow totals across the west. The highest amounts will be in the Wasatch, but unfortunately, it's not much for the areas caught in a severe snow drought. I'm not sure if snow drought is an official term, but it's the reality in Colorado. If it wasn't for snowmaking, many of these resorts wouldn't even be open right now. The real headline, however, remains in the Northeast. In our next video, we'll track this system to see if it becomes a monster storm. You won't want to miss it. And the hits just keep on coming. A brutal cold front is crashing down into Colorado with temperatures plummeting into the teens and 20s. Think that's bad? Tomorrow's highs across the Dakotas will barely climb above 0. And this Arctic invasion is pushing all the way down into Texas. But wait, I have to show you something I spotted earlier that changes everything. Was it for Sunday? Hold on, let me just back this up for you. Look at these high temperatures for Sunday. If you follow this pattern up here, oh, you know what? It was actually Monday's forecast. My apologies. If this was a pre-recorded show, I'd edit that out. But I want you to see exactly how this forecast is unfolding in real time. It was Monday, and here's the surprising part. We're seeing a downsloping flow develop across the Canadian Rockies. Can you believe it's nearly 30 degrees up toward Edmonton? That's almost as warm as it is down in Oklahoma and Kansas. What is going on here? This means a wave of dangerously cold air is plowing its way down across the central U.S., right behind this system just in time for Sunday and Monday. High pressure is trying to build in, but there's a problem. A rogue band of snow is making a break for it, streaking across Kansas, Nebraska, and Missouri. So if you missed out on the snow last time, this new system might be your second chance to see some flakes fly as it rockets off to the east. But here's the catch. The entire storm is literally split in two right now. We have an upper-level trough and a separate pocket of energy to the south that haven't merged yet. But what happens when they finally collide near the coast?
More snow for Illinois and Indiana. This system moves out incredibly fast, giving us a false sense of calm midweek. But don't get comfortable. Another disturbance is already brewing with snow for the far southwest. And just when you think you can breathe, check out what's on tap for Friday and Saturday. It's an absolute frenzy of activity. Like I said before, you're going to want to buckle up because the next 2 weeks are going to be an atmospheric battlefield. And there it is again, that relentless cold pushing deep into the south on Sunday. Look at Dallas, barely scratching 40 degrees. That's a serious cold snap. And I know, it could always be colder, but this is a dangerous chill settling over the upper Midwest, especially with all that fresh snow on the ground. We're talking about a deep freeze across Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, and Michigan. This is more than just chilly. It's bone-rattling. Now, let's zoom in on the East Coast, because this is where the real drama unfolds. Snow is pummeling southeast Canada while rain soaks the south, setting the stage for a major showdown. That battle begins with a messy mix of precipitation across the Appalachians, right up the I-81 corridor into western Maryland, Hagerstown, and the panhandle of West Virginia. But this mess scours out surprisingly fast, and we'll even see a quick changeover from snow to rain in Pennsylvania, right before the cold comes roaring back, reigniting the snow machine. The Great Lakes will start churning out heavy lake-effect snow, and right on its heels, here comes the main event. You will not want to miss this next part. For our final look, we're focusing on this. A dangerous wave of freezing rain is about to start across the southern Appalachians. This could be a crippling ice event. Now, it's still too early for official winter storm watches, but all the warning signs are flashing. Do not be surprised when those alerts start lighting up your phone Sunday night and into Monday. This is a serious threat. As our confidence in the models grows, you're going to see those advisories come out. So stay tuned for the very latest. But there's a twist in the story. The European model shows this low-pressure system developing a little farther from the coast. So what does that mean? Potentially a lot less snow for the Northeast, which explains our lower forecast numbers. Which model has it right? We'll break it all down in the next video. Now, that was the midday run, but what happens when we look at the other major model, the GFS? You're about to see why the European model is starting to lean its way. It's painting a much more aggressive picture with a significantly stronger low-pressure system. I mean, just look at this projection. This thing is on a path to move almost directly across Cape Cod, a stark contrast to the European model. The Euro keeps it further offshore, hovering closer to that classic benchmark near the 40-degree north, 70-degree west line. But here's the bottom line. Either way, we have a major system to monitor. And don't miss what's right behind it. A brutal cold front set to unleash a wave of frigid Arctic air. And this next part, oh boy, I showed a glimpse of this earlier, and it's a potential game changer. Could this finally be it? I know people in the Carolinas have been waiting on a decent snow for what feels like 3 or 4 years now. This is the midday GFS run, and I need you to see exactly what it's showing. We've seen some wild swings. If you saw the 18Z run, you were probably thinking, oh my gosh, this forecast is all over the place. And you'd be right. The target day we're watching closely? Friday. But remember, this is just the GFS. What happens if we switch over to the European model for that exact same time frame? This is its late evening run. Actually, let's rewind and compare apples to apples with the midday run. And here's the fascinating part. While the maps don't look identical, the European model also shows a significant system pushing through around that same time. In my book, that's called model agreement, and it makes this a must-watch event. Don't go anywhere. If you've stuck with me this far, you're definitely a weather geek like me. So do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Come back and join the conversation in the chat. Always love hearing from you. Let me know if you're seeing flakes fly. Tell me how many inches you ended up with, because I certainly hear from you guys when the forecast lets you down. That feeling of getting cheated out of a snow day, it's the worst, right? And frankly, I think there's a high potential for that with this snow heading for the Northeast this Tuesday, especially along the southern edge, where the storms track is everything. So where will that track end up? You won't want to miss our next video where we'll have the crucial updates. Plus, we'll be tracking another potential monster storm right behind this one. I'll see you then.